It's a trap!
Ready? Let's go bother him.
And here we go, indeed. Pardon me. Good evening, everyone. Doing a bit of a different camera angle because we are doing a just chatting tonight. Nevertheless, welcome to the Mech Shop. Thank you for joining in Prime. Please let me know if my volumes are not that good, or like the quality of my volume is how it's going. Loud my voice. Probably because I am talking from further away than I normally would. Let me turn up the mic further. See if that helps with that one. But yeah. So as you can see, there's a bit of a well, this weekend we did some serious. I don't want to call it renovation, but that's kind of what it is. We did some serious cleanup of the house. So that involved doing a lot of rearranging and cleaning up of things in like the different rooms, specifically here and the next room over, the library, as well as just some more general maintenance cleaning overall. Part of that reorganization was throwing out a bunch of stuff that we were like, we have this for some reason, but it's no longer functional for us now. So, but what that also means is that, like, back here now is our, like, the majority of our VHS collection. So we now have the proper TV for here. The old TV is gone. The one that was on its last leg, that's been long gone. The new TV, this is the TV we had in the living room. We got a bigger screen TV. That is now in our living room. We got that from Kim's family. So thank you guys very much for that. Can't guarantee that we'll probably have anything playing on that anytime soon. Still got a universal remote to get it to function properly. Because I mean, right now, basically, it's at the stage of 3 different remotes. Oh, hello, Wolfman. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate you coming in the mech shop. Again, this is just chatting, just kind of catching up. I don't have a lot of work. I got plenty of work I want to try and get taken care of, but I need to reorganize and reorientate myself. Last couple days I've been sick, or rather I've been at least not feeling the most optimal and the best. So hadn't had my head wrapped in the game correctly. But still gotten a couple things taken care of, still trying to get things organized and everything. Namely, like all the various commissions I'm doing. For example, I have my one commission where I've got the Crix checks to take care of. That was the same patron. It was the one that I did all of the Warcaster Neo Mechanica weaponry for the Marcher Worlds. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you've been having a bad day, Wolfman. Well, I hope, I'm not a professional in any of that regards. There's only so much help I can do. Listen. If you follow me on my Discord, I don't have a channel for venting or anything like that on my Discord. However, I can direct you to a Discord that has that if you're not already a part of such a Discord. Thank you, Kim, for following up with that. I think I just got an idea I need to do for another sound effect, for another sound cue, but that's something I could do post-stream. Nevertheless, I've been doing some on and off work on the biggest commission that is the Wild Keep. For those of you who don't know what I've been doing with that, or are unfamiliar with it, either because you haven't had the opportunity to watch beforehand, watch any of my VODs, or follow on the Discord. The Wild Keep is a large terrain piece that I have been working on for the last couple months for Patron. They know it's been taking a while, they're in no rush, so I'm very blessed in that they are not pushing me to be like, hey, when's it done? If anything, I have to kind of poke them every now and then and be like, I would like some feedback on something. Oh no! Well, Wolfman, you don't have to... Okay. I can't guarantee trolls won't follow, and that there won't be any trolls here. However, I don't deal with trolls... Well, okay. I deal with trolls moderately okay, personally. This is why I have moderators. And Kim is a moderator. If there's a troll that comes that bothers us, whisper to one of us, we'll see what we can't do. Hopefully, it won't be a problem. In the meanwhile, I hope that you consider this to be a safe space for you. Somewhere free from BS like that. Again, no promises, no guarantees, just the best that we can do. But yeah, with the Wild Keep, the idea is that it is a large chunk of land that's been unearthed and walks around based off of 4 large trees that are basically awakened by Fey magic. And so it's moving around like that. And so the challenge of like trying to come up with the trees, the tree legs, and trying to make it so that it actually can support its own weight has been an interesting experience. Understood. But yeah, so for the most part, the underside is almost complete. I still have to do a little more flocking. That is, adding some more dirt and gravel and whatnot to the underside to kind of give it that look of like uneven and patchy earth, kind of uprooted and everything. And then the patron specifically wanted some root, like he wanted a rough face on the front, not like nose and lips or anything like that. Basically, like kind of eyes. So, but not like very explicitly, like very clearly humanoid features in that regards. So talked to them, got some ideas kind of flowing about, and so the concept we're going right now is that there's a couple like sunken cavities that are, we're gonna then put like runes in. I'm gonna put some runes in there to help elude to and evoke the concept of like eyes and visual, like sensory inputs, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of like one step I'm at right now. The actual step I'm like, that's what's left for the underside, because once that's all taken care of and everything's kind of sealed and holding together just fine, then the plan is to prime. Then they'll be ready to be primed and ready. But to get the top side ready, I still need to glue the circle of mushrooms. That won't take too long. And the fairy ring, that won't be. I already got the mushrooms figured out. It's just better like putting them down in position. As well as gluing down anything else, applying Mod Podge to wherever I need, specifically all the foam pieces that will need sealant and protection against the particulates of the aerosol spray that I use. The other one I'm working on is there's a central tree growing at the top. Now this doesn't look like much. In fact, it looks very inappropriate without anything else on it. So, to give you a better idea of what we're talking about, that's number 3. So let's go right up here. I labeled them because it makes it easy to kind of reconstruct everything. Especially since the plan is to... I've got runes I need to design. I want to design. And I certainly want feedback from a patron. There it is. So you get the idea now. Now, it's not going to be completely barren. What's going to be happening after this is the plan would be... Thank you. So, these... where I have all the skewers right here, those are going to be to help guide in for where I'm going to be gluing in these little discs of foam, because slide those in, and what you get, or at least what I'm trying to make you get, is a ring of mushrooms. They're like steps of mushrooms growing on this, so that you can, and that they're wide enough and big enough, and hopefully we'll be able to support the weight of models that you could put up here to kind of get at various heights and everything. But yeah, you'll see that there's spots on here where I've got it marked for all the branches, but then I also have these spots here for R2, R3. There should be 4 of them, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is going to be the location for runes that I'm going to use a hot wire cutter, or rather a wood burning kit. And I got a few different designs I want to show my patron to get their take on them, to figure out which ones are going to be the best. Then they're mine and everything for the tree. Checking the time, battery life on my computer, it should be okay. But yeah, so the idea is kind cut those out, cut out the rough shapes, or rather, etch into those, burn into those with the board and burning kit. Cut those out into rough circular shape. Well, not these. These ones. This is just Sharpie. But the plan is that I have with the wood burning tool. It basically is a soldering iron, but it heats to a different temperature. And it has a special head, so that you can do like precision cutting. So that he is then going to cut into that with the wood burning tool, with the wood burner, and then that way I can get those shapes and grooves and everything like that. Then take those, cut those out, glue that in, and then marry the piece over with the spackle, which I think you guys saw me do the other week. So, oh, you're fine. I did say wire cutter. I meant to say the wood burner. So, but yeah, if it was a different foam, I could use a different tool from the foam cutter, the wire cutter, but it's not the greatest for that. The wood burner is much better because it can be a little more precise. It's a much better design for that one. So with that, once that's married in there, then I can glue everything together on that tree. Again, provided my patron gets back to me and says, yes, this is great, this is fantastic, or no, can you go in this direction, or this is good, but can we do this? Whatever we need to do to facilitate communication to get that vision codified and manifesting. Because with that tree, once everything's glued down and I can get everything sealed on it, the step after that will be to essentially get it fixed. Although I might want to try and get that taken care of before I glue all the pieces down, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's going to be best. Is get it fixed to the rest of the wild keep. And that's only just because I think I would want to add in other details like tree roots kind of just like not cresting through the earth, but definitely shaping around it and everything, kind of giving it some life and definition there. And then, but then hopefully that would also give it some additional support to keep it in place on the overall piece. Yeah, I can see how I can make that work now. So really just got to reach out to my patron a little more on that. But anyways, so once that's sealed with Mod Podge, and so then it's ready to be primed. Everything should be ready to be primed at that point. I'll probably just glue the legs into position and then do whatever else last bridging I need to do to kind of sell the wood-earth patchy relationship between the two. And then once that's figured out, once it's all, everything's kind of like blended together. So we got the runes, got the mushroom circle, got the last tree, got the underside, both the runes for the front face as well as that. I also have some hinges, just big stone blocks meant to help evoke some other ritualism to everything. It's also got runes in it. This one I did, I also used the wood burning kit to carve in and do some designs on there. Again, drew them on first and then did that. But glue those down, everything gets sealed, then everything gets primed, and then start painting the crap out of it. Not using a brush, I'm going to be using my airbrush. So no taking forever bristly to do that. I'm going to do, layers, doing successive layers of spraying, whatever I need to do. Maybe if you like whatever passes with washes, that's different. I might have to do that for a few different spots. So, but anyways, that'll kind of fill everything out. Then once all the paint and color has been applied everywhere. Yeah, good point.
Let's give them something to drink.
You still doing? Danke. Both a reminder as well as pointing out and everything, because I can definitely hear my voice croaking a little bit too. But anyways, so with the everything painted, then I can start doing a lot more of the additional life that needs to go into it. That's going to be adding brush, bush, some moss beds perhaps. Some of those I might need to do before I can prime everything. I haven't decided. I think I'm going to try doing it like get some of that prep beforehand and then apply it down. But yeah, to give all that additional vegetation to kind of give it that life and kind of different look throughout the whole thing. So that'll be, fun time. And then once everything is set and everything's taken care of with that, seal the whole thing. Although I probably want to figure out if he wants any kind of glow effect with the runes. That won't be too hard. That won't be too problematic. Just, having to remember, okay, here's a rune I need to do. Here's a rune I need to do. And then making sure I keep myself having access to getting those runes taken care of. And then once all of those are taken care of and applied, then move on to further happiness with that commission being settled. Now, that's not the only commission I have that I'm working on. Like I said, Cricksjacks galore to work on. Got to review the notes on which ones should look like what. Pulling up the respective colors for those. Gonna have a bit of an interesting time with the Slayer chassis, only because they've already done some work with the glow effect, like with the kind of the radioactive glow effect they like to do, and not exactly. I haven't really played around with too much of what they've done, so yeah. Nevertheless, it's one of those ones where it's like, okay, that won't be a problem to do. Other commission work I've got like a smattering of miniatures to work on for one patron. I know there's at least one I should prioritize above the others out of that, so I'll get to doing that. And then, so let's see here. Cricks, Wildkeep, smattering of models, and then from the same patron who gave me the Wildkeep, they also gave me these two other models that are chonkers. He's been dubbed the Dracocerberus. And Tree Rex. Think about it. I had more of them. I have a base that would work for them. But I need the base. So that won't work in that sense. Although I could probably fabricate something. Some kind of middle ground for them. But yeah. Yeah, big boys. I'm going to have to definitely take notes on how I do the trees for the Wildkeep, because I was told with that one, maybe tie them a little together. So I'm like, oh, sure, not a problem. In addition to those, I still have my own projects I want to work on. which right now consists of the industrial walls. I've had them primed for over a week now, I think, at least. This one specifically is one of the 2 bay doors that I've got built. Because I don't know if you can pick it up because of how the light of it is. Oh yeah, I guess you can. Although it's definitely causing some kind of like strobe effect. But there is right here, like, supposed to be the shuttered doors. This one I'm particularly happy with because, again, these pieces are meant to be modular and adjustable, where you can kind of flip them around. This one I'm really happy with, not strictly because of like the side where I got all the conduits and everything here, because on this side I'm using one of those shelving units that I got the other week. So I was so happy with it and how it came out, because what I did is I've got a bunch of barrels and everything glued in here, and then once everything's kind of painted, glue it down, then I could seal it.
Damn!
Yes.
These are so fresh.
Indeed. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about trying to work on that one, get that one taken care of. Like all of those ones taken care of. Might as well show the last one. There's not much to worry about with this one. Just a lot of nice crusty filth on this one. Although, it does have this big tank on it. And I was just like, I don't know what it does exactly. It's some kind of container, some kind of vessel. It's cool though. It takes up space. You know, it breaks it up from just being just a bare wall. Although I might want to consider doing that for at least one of those, now that I think about it. It's just like, I don't have to do anything. I could just sort of like put like a little control panel and a couple little wires or something hanging, or not wires, but like conduit piping, and just call it that. It's like, that's it. It doesn't necessarily need to be anything super extravagant. So gotta do that. So those guys, that. I have been approached about a couple other commissions, at least one other one. I've had to kind of take that off the slate because I haven't heard too much more from them. Not complaining about them. They should take their time, figure things out. Then I can approach and get it all figured out. Everyone can walk away happy. So, as it stands, I'm looking at my commission work and going like, okay, let me give myself like 2-3 months at this point to get things situated. Like, basically, some of these other ones I'm looking at, I'm probably banking on like trying to get them done by April. The Wild Keep, ideally, if I can get my button gear, maybe like sometime in March, if not sooner. You know, and I've communicated this clear. I mean, maybe not the Wild Keep. That number, that date kind of came to mind just about now. But communicating with my patrons to let them know. Less anxiety-sounding news and discussions. I got a chance to play my first game of War Machine in quite a while. I played against a friend. They are going to a tournament on the 12th, and they were looking for some practice. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. So they gave me their lists, and I asked them, like, what would you like to face against to get the practice? Telling them, you know, figure what makes sense for them, you know. The idea being that, like, hey, like they could say, like, hey, make like a heavy armor list, make a gun list or a heavy melee list, you know, whatever. I'm like, okay. They said, you do what you want, and I'm like, all right, I'll make a list that's more or less tailor-made to take on your lists. And they appreciated it. They understood that I wasn't trying to be mean. I was trying to basically, like, this is going to be as hard as I can make it for you with what I've got. And it turned out to be the case. It was, we didn't have a scenario, but we did determine that if there was a scenario at play, I still was dominating the field. So it would have been very tricky for them to make a comeback either through scenario or, as they attempted to do, through what's referred to as assassination, where they are trying to eliminate my warcaster, my commander of my army, because if you do, that's an instant win for them. And they got close. I'm actually writing up on my Discord. There is on my Discord, there is a separate channel for battle reports. And that's not just for me, that's for anybody to kind of put up like their after action, like, hey, we played this game and this is what ended up happening. Or we did, X, Y, or Z, and this is how it came out. Whether it's a miniature game, board game, role-playing game, well, yeah, I think I want to have it open to any category, but for now, and then if one gets more dominant than the other, then we can kind of divide it up. I think I do already have it divided up, but we'll figure that out later. So, but I'm working on putting that up right now as an example of what you can do. Just you share your stories. It's a chance for everyone to learn. So, certainly gone on a little longer than I had originally thought or planned, and I'm not upset about that. It was just noticing that. I am going to take a moment to go through and take a look, see who's live. Like I said, I want to keep it short. I want to keep it about a half hour today. Normally when I do just chatting, it's about an hour. I also usually tend to have a script where I kind of talk about these points, M prime, make sure that people are aware of what's going on, M prime. I don't refer to myself in the third person that typically, except if I'm playing Gand, in which case Gand always talks about Gand like Gand is a third person. Because Gand has not earned his name. Gand has not earned Gand's name yet. Or his name, because I think that actually would not break that code. Cultural code in this case. Ooh, pretty. Alright. That's a fair question. Oh. Let me turn that down. That is definitely a very pretty model. I have ourselves our raid target figured out. So, thank you all for joining me. Let us get to those credits, those lovely, lovely credits. So we can get that going. Let me get the name in here correct. Don't know how to spell it correctly, but nevertheless, let's get those credits are rolling. There they go. Let's get this going. Well, it looks like they have follower or subscriber only chat enabled. So if you're not a follower, I suggest you follow them. They seem very nice and cute. Nevertheless, everyone, thank you so very much for joining me today in the Mech Shop again. Brief as it was, I have every intention of streaming tomorrow, so you can join me then as well. I will try and have something more of a specific project in mind for then. It is probably going to be a terrain project, possibly the Wild Keep. So, thank you so very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another. We're all in this together, and see you out there. Bye-bye for now.